Blame Truth here, the Godfather himself, bringing you another video. It's been several days since I've made something. I did say I was going to bring something every other day, but the COD news, man, like, I don't want to bring you guys boring-ass videos. I just don't. You know, I'd rather not bring you a video than bring something half-assed to bring you something that's just kind of reaching and desperate and whatnot. Don't want to do that. I want to bring you news when there's actually news, and finally we do have some news. Before I get into this though, because this is very interesting. This is going to be some very interesting stuff, and I'm not sure what I'm going to title this video. I don't know if I'm going to title it like "You Owe Me an Apology" or "I Was Right" or whatever, but just stick around. You're going to love this. I'm going to timestamp everything below so you can click around as you see fit. First and foremost, though, I want to cover XDefiant. So I missed out on the beta there. I did play the pre-alpha, but I missed out on the beta. I've just been playing so much Dead by Daylight. I've been having a great time. And truth be told, I'm just kind of FPS'd out in general. Thank you, Call of Duty, for doing that to me. I appreciate it. Anyway, the point is that I've been keeping up with XDefiant. I've been trying to just really analyze the game, and look, man, you guys can like me, you can hate me, you can be somewhere in the middle or whatever, but I think we can all agree at this point, as someone who's been in the community for a long time, who has been constantly giving the developers feedback for Call of Duty especially, but not just Call of Duty, other game developers and stuff like that. Like, when you take somebody as smart as I am, I'm sorry for tooting my own horn here, but I got some big brain ideas and 30 years of gaming experience, and I've played Call of Duty essentially for a living for the past 15 years on and off. So I tend to have some pretty goddamn good ideas, I'd say. That's not even ego, I don't think. I think I've earned the right to say that. So just recently, though, I gave some feedback to XDefiant. Mark Rubin, who is the lead kind of, David Vonderhaar type figure for XDefiant, and he actually took it into consideration, and Nero covered this in his video recently, but Nero said in a tweet, "I know some people want to see streaks in XDefiant, but this is some great outside the box thinking, like kill streaks for Call of Duty and stuff. I mean, they work in that setting, but XDefiant's got like the ultimates and stuff like that, kind of like Overwatch. I don't think it would really work." But I replied with this. So I tagged Mark and I said, "Streaks that when you hit them, you gain a rarity token. Common, uncommon, rare, legendary, etc. The higher the streak obtained in a match, the rarer the token. You can use them on chests of different rarities containing better loot after the match. Streaks that offer more passive effects like double or triple XP in game, or reactive camos a la Black Ops 4 as you progress would also work." Then I also chimed in with the idea that, hey, you could even have a thing where you equip this camo, you level that camo up, and it evolves through the match as you continue your streak. And then once you hit, let's say, 25 kills with that weapon, it unlocks a mastery camo for that weapon, like a nuke camo. So your reactive camo, you can level it up as you go, and once you hit a certain threshold, it stays that way. I think that could be pretty cool. Just another means of progression. It's kind of like Black Ops 4, but a little bit different. Mark Rubin actually responded to this. He says, "We don't want to just put your typical COD kill streaks in the game, but we are thinking outside the box for ways to reward and celebrate streaks. I thought the reactive camo idea from this thread was pretty cool." And Nero says, "Thanks for the response and transparency." And like, man, that's all we want. Whether they use this idea or not, I'm just saying, like, hey, here's an idea. If you think it's cool, put it in your game. They're the ones making the main course here, I'm just saying what I want, and then they can kind of spin it how they want, maybe even make it better. They can take that idea and make it better, even if they want. But that's really all a lot of gamers want right now from Call of Duty, is just for them to hear us and be like, yeah, we're listening, or explain why they won't do something in detail. And we're just not getting that. We're not getting listened to. We're not getting explained anything. They're treating us like just endless piles of money, which, let's be honest, this community, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what you want to hear. Fuck that shit. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. In this community, man, we're about to get into it after this brief word from this video's sponsor. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. Today's video is sponsored by Beam's amazing product, Dream. If you're like me, guys, I can't sleep a lot. I stare at screens, and blue light's been shown to really mess up circadian rhythms, and my rhythm constantly gets messed up. As a YouTuber especially, I'm working at random hours, I'm doing things at random times of the day, constantly staring at screens. It's only a matter of time before my sleep schedule gets messed up. Dream has helped me maintain a regular schedule finally for the first time in my life. Dream is a combination of magnesium, reishi mushroom extract, L-theanine, CBD, and melatonin, and it's there to just relax you before you go to bed. Just mix in 1 to 2 scoops and 6 to 8 ounces of hot water or milk, and you will sleep better than you ever have. I guarantee it. I legitimately could not believe it as someone who just can never ever seem to get a regular sleep cycle and wake up feeling refreshed consistently throughout my entire life. Dream has helped me more than any other over-the-counter product I've ever tried. So guys, click the link in the video description and use code BLAMETRUTH to get 35% off your first order when you subscribe, and then 20% off all following orders. Plus, when you subscribe to Dream Powder, you will receive a free frother with your first order. This thing's amazing for mixing. You can pause, skip, or cancel anytime, so there's no risk whatsoever. Get better sleep now and enjoy the great cocoa taste as well. Alright guys, welcome back to the video. So the community, I brought that up before the ad there. What do I want to address as it pertains to this community? Well, this community, for the most part, the Call of Duty community, one of the worst communities I've ever seen, I've ever been a part of. And I could say that as someone who was here before the goddamn community was even fucking made. I was making Call of Duty 4 videos on a Hauppauge HD PVR when some of these fuckers that are playing the game now were still sperming their dad's balls. This community, I don't know what's wrong with it. I see people all the time trying to defend Activision and Call of Duty, or they'll say like, I'm not purchasing the next game, and then they purchase it, or they'll say like, wow, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and then they do it. And I've learned the hard way throughout my life, actions speak louder than words, and people, I wouldn't trust most people as far as I could throw them. And that's saying something, because America has a little bit of an obesity problem. You know, I work out, but damn, I can't lift no 400-pound man that can barely walk. So let's get back on track here. One of the biggest defenses for every time I show the falling Steam player numbers for Call of Duty is that, dude, it's just Steam. There's no PC players. It's just Steam. PC doesn't matter, whatever. You got to look at the console numbers, which we don't have. Trust me, I would love to look at the console numbers, but Activision hides them because they're giant, stalactite-esque dripping pussies. It's true though. They don't reveal the numbers anymore because they got embarrassed way back in Call of Duty Ghosts when nobody bought or played that game and they stayed on Black Ops 2. Yeah, if they stay on Black Ops 2 and they don't play Ghosts, it means that they're missing out on a lot of revenue because people are just staying on the previous year's Call of Duty and having a good time because it doesn't suck. Black Ops 2, after that, it's been pretty much all downhill. There's been some peaks, a lot more valleys though, a lot more valleys. Speaking of valleys, the Microsoft Activision Call of Duty court case where like Microsoft wants to purchase essentially Call of Duty and then keep it on every console, but they want the exclusivity and Sony's trying to block it because they're also stalactite-esque dripping pussies. God, I hate Sony so much. But regardless, you know, this needs to go through or else Call of Duty is just going to keep getting worse and worse, I think, but, you know, whatever. I'm not here to debate that. I'm here to show you some interesting information that was revealed though. So most of what Charlie Incel covered about the trial on Twitter, and there's another like I guess final say thing happening today, but he was covering it, and like most of it's just Bobby Kotick being an absolute moron. For example, he says in regards to COD Vanguard that it was disappointing in commercial results, but I think it was a good game. If Bobby fucking Kotick thinks Call of Duty Vanguard is a good game, is there any hope we will actually get a good game from Call of Duty anymore? No. The man's either an idiot if he actually believes that, or he's lying to our faces, or maybe it's a little bit of both, honestly. But, you know, he also says something like, we can't deliver hits every year in regards to Call of Duty's quality. Well, maybe, Bobby, don't release a motherfucking game every year. Imagine that. Let's not release half-ass games during a pandemic. Oh, it was a COVID pandemic. Well, just don't make a game. Don't force people to come to work. Don't make people make the game in a van outside of a Denny's stealing their Wi-Fi. You know, like, don't do that. Wait until COVID ends and then make the game, and don't release shit every year. But I digress. The most interesting part of this whole thing, though, is what was said in regards to the Xbox player base as it pertains to even PC. So Charlie Intel says Call of Duty has over 100 million monthly active users, as per Kotick. He says Call of Duty has 70 million daily active users, with primary platform being COD Mobile, which is what we all knew when we see these giant numbers, followed by PC and consoles. Xbox is the smallest percent of the Call of Duty player base. Wrap your head around that shit. All these people saying PC numbers don't matter. It's just Steam. It does not matter. Xbox is smaller than that. Now, with the way he's ordered this, Charlie Intel at least, maybe he's misquoting. He says it's followed by PC and then consoles. I'm assuming it's like respectively there. That's what he means. But I don't know. I want to assume that like PlayStation 4 and 5 have PC beats, but the way he's ordered this, I'm not sure. I'll have to get some clarification maybe at some point. But the fact that Xbox is the verifiable smallest percent of the player base is worrying. Now, here's something else. Here's something else that's gonna just kind of make you scratch your head, all right? I asked on Twitter, and most people have like come up to me and basically debunked any kind of skill-based matchmaking, because I've heard through a lot of people that it's just kind of like a noob slaughtering simulator. And most people, I'd say the majority of people that responded to me, said, no, there's no SBMM. No, and in fact, you'll face literal bots, like actual just AI bots a lot of the time, because I don't know why. Not only that, but Call of Duty Mobile, from what I've seen, seems like a pretty good game. Like, seriously, it seems like a complete experience. It's not a yearly release. It gives you a lot of cool classic maps, a lot of classic good maps. It seems good. Like, the firing range is detailed. It seems pretty good, right? The fact that Call of Duty Mobile is leading the charge here should be a fucking wake-up call to just do what Call of Duty Mobile is doing. And do you know what Call of Duty Mobile is doing? The same fucking shit that they were doing 10 years ago when they were making Black Ops 2, only it's not a yearly release. Is it not? Why do we have skill-based matchmaking on consoles? Why do we have skill-based matchmaking on consoles that hurts your ping? Why do we have incomplete games releasing every year? Why do we have features missing? Why do we have a lack of quality now that is, it's objective? It's not subjective, it is objective, it is factual. There's a lack of quality, a lack of features, a lack of everything. Are we just a social experiment? Are we just an experiment on console and PC and stuff? Are the yearly release CODs just there for them to see what they can get away with? How shitty can we make a game and still sell it? Why is Call of Duty Mobile this giant success when it has nothing that the dwindling player base on console and PC have? Seriously, Warzone 2, an absolute fucking failure in every metric, pretty much. Modern Warfare Roman numeral 2 sold well, nobody plays it. They've lost something like 80% of the player base just on Steam, where we can track it. And before you say, well, it's just Steam, it doesn't matter, there's apparently more players on Steam than there are Xbox. What other excuses are you going to make for this billion-dollar company, you fucking NPC? Make it make sense. Why do we have these things that no one really like no hardcore player likes on console, yet on Call of Duty Mobile, it's just how the games used to be when that's clearly more successful? What in the hell? It's like there's no concrete identity to this fucking franchise anymore. You're gonna get a different experience based on the time of day. You know, like, is this what happens when you just have 20,000 devs, maybe like thousands of different directors and different ranks and hierarchies that just don't make any fucking sense? Is this what happens? Guys, I'm out of time. Help me understand all of this, please. And for God's sakes, if you're one of those people that are saying like, I'm never buying Activision stuff again, I'm not fucking playing Call of Duty again, put your money where your mouth is and actually do it. Because every single year I see people spending their money, maybe it's just tradition, maybe it's just a traditional thing, it's like Christmas, they'll do it just because that's what they've always done. Break the cycle or shit ain't gonna get better, man. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.
Need some parting advice?